What it do, gang? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We live. We back, man. Welcome back to the Golden Goose DFS show. I am your host, Chandler Blakely, aka Goose. Y'all know why I'm here, man. It's another edition of the starting five for DraftKings and FanDuel, alright? But before we get into it, man, you know it's the lineup review, going over our best lineup from yesterday's slate. What we did right, what we did wrong, that sort of thing. So, hey, come on in, man. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn the notification bell on so you can be here rocking with us every day when the videos drop, all right? Also, start your morning off right, man. Please hit that like button for your boy, man. That's all I'm asking. Just a simple tap of your thumbs up, man. It doesn't hurt you, doesn't cost you anything. And it spreads a little love and helps a small channel grow over here on YouTube. That's all. Do that for your boy, man. I appreciate you, all right? Thank you for tuning in. Let's get to it, man. Last night was a rough one. I told you on the video yesterday, guys. Get ready. It's going to be crazy slates like that. Tons of value. Probably from now until the playoffs start, man. We got another one tonight. It's going to be plenty of value. It's going to be madness, man. You got to be... this is part of the year I typically go lighter and then ramp back up when the playoffs start. So I'm going to start to dwindle down a little bit. Probably like 5 or 6 lineups. Not going to go too crazy. I probably do 20 max probably to the end of this week, but then after this week, I probably just tone it down to about 5, 6 lineups just to wait out all the madness and get ready for the playoffs. So last night, rough night on both sides, man. Very rough night. I got hustled, bamboozled here, especially when they put Jalen Smith in the starting lineup. If you caught my tweet, you know I was Bobby Portis, Isaiah Jackson. I was heavy on them too. But once we got the news that Jalen Smith was starting, I pivoted from Isaiah Jackson to Jalen Smith, as he's a very solid point per minute candidate here. Thought with him starting, he could approach 30 minutes, and knew if he got close to 30 minutes, he can give you a big number at 4,100. Wasn't really the case. Him and Isaiah Jackson just pretty much like split it. I think Isaiah Jackson got the bulk of the minutes. He was end up being a better fantasy producer. So I got hustled a little bit there, and I also got hustled with James Harden. I was heavy on James Harden. Seen he was probable after they had ruled Embiid out. He was probable all day. Then they ruled Embiid out. I loaded up on the Harden. And then, of course, about 30, 40 minutes before lock, they say he was out. So I had to pivot, got to some max. I got to a lot of Fox off of Harden. Probably should have got to some more Maxey. But, yeah, that would end up hurting us last night. And then just being over the field on Eubanks and Little, who did not do anything. I was heavy on you. The 4 guys I was heavy on last night was Eubanks, Little, Portis, and Isaiah Jackson before the news. So that was our downfall last night. But my best lineup, 318 right here. Had Javon Carter, everybody's chalk with all those Milwaukee guys out. 29 fantasy points, very solid from him. I went Mathurin here. 20% on, 37 fantasy points. He was solid here at 4,800. Milton, of course, everybody's chalk. He dropped 51 as they beat the Pistons. Jalen Smith, like I said, thought all signs was pointing up for him once he got the starting spot, but pardon me, guys, but just wasn't to be in this spot. Only 18 fantasy points hurt us. Jokic here, 26 fantasy points. I knew once Embiid was ruled out, I knew I wanted to get the plenty of Jokic. He was my favorite. He was my preferred pay-up option on yesterday's slate. 26 fantasy points here, 71, a monster triple-double from the kid here. And then Fox, of course, 7.5% on. Only gave us 45 points here. Bobby Portis, of course, 40% on, 46 fantasy points from him. And then Eubanks, 33% on, only gave us 20 fantasy points. So 318, rough night on DK, rougher night on FanDuel. Didn't even finish in the money over here. 341 with my best lineup. At the top, De'Aaron Fox, 9,400. This is another one of those spots I pivoted from Harden. This was Harden, Irvin, Chris Middleton. But, 8% on, 44 fantasy points for him. Kyrie Irving got off to a blistering start. Thought he was about to give us a big game here, but they kind of blew out the Pacers, and he didn't really need to do much the second half. 43 fantasy points from him. Chris Middleton, of course, 49 from him. Jaden Ivey, I had a lot of Jaden Ivey yesterday. That price was just too good on FanDuel, 6,100. Too good of a price here. And especially if, you know how I feel. If you're going to be running 3 or 4 guys from one team, you might as well get to a run back from the other team at least, man. Because in my opinion, unless they're all like 3K, 4K, if you got 4 guys from the same team, the only way they all get in there is if they're all super cheap Or like I said, or you get a tight game that's back and forth, high scoring game, maybe a couple overtimes or something like that. Other than that, it's hard for four players from one team to give you a score you need. So just having a couple of those Bucks guys, I wanted to run him back with a lot of Ivy on FanDuel. Worked out for us at 49 fantasy points. Him a monster game from him. Got to some Kyle Anderson at 43% on 41 fantasy points. Nazir Little once again hurt me over here, 18 fantasy points. Eubanks 21. Kept in Isaiah Jackson over here, which he was way higher priced over here. Probably should have got off with some of them, but 5,600 gave us 28 fantasy points at 10% on. And then Bobby Portis at the bottom. I didn't get to a lot of Jokic on FanDuel, only a couple of lineups, just because I was so heavy on Bobby Portis, Jackson, Eubanks, Smith. It was so many bigs that I wanted to stuff in there that I couldn't really get to Jokic on FanDuel. So there you have it, man. Rough night on DK and FanDuel. But we back tonight, man. Nice 6-game slate. Got it queued up for y'all. Let's talk about it. Now, it's already some injury news. We got a lot of Ja Morant may miss. SGA questionable. Everybody for the Charlotte Hornets, man. But at the top point guard, I'm going to look at Tyus Jones. They didn't jack the price up on Dennis Smith Jr. at $7K, so I would just rather get the Tyus Jones at $5,300, provided that Ja is out. We should expect him to step into the starting lineup. We've seen him smash in this spot on more than one occasion with no Ja, and they got a great matchup going against the Orlando Magic. He should lead this Memphis offense here in this spot. I love getting the Tyus Jones at $5,300, provided that Ja is out, all right? Now, at the shooting guard, now we got one of the higher total games on the slate and probably the most competitive game on the slate. 1 point total here. They expect it to be back and forth. It's a pace-up game and a high-scoring game. Give me the scorer, man. I take Spider Mitchell here at $8,600. I love this price tag on him. Like I said, extreme pace-up spot for him. The Atlanta defense has been struggling. It's one of the higher totals on the slate. Give me Donovan Mitchell. I will always take the scorer in projected higher scoring games. I like Donovan Mitchell, $8,600. Get to him. Now, at the small forward, I want to look at Bryce McGowan. We already have Mark Williams out. We have Terry Rozier out. Kelly Oubre's been out. He's still questionable. And Gordon Hayward is doubtful. So they saw McGowan's he's been getting minutes with Oubre missing. So I expect him to step into the starting lineup. I probably might, if I had to guess right now, it'll probably be Dennis Smith Jr., Svi Mykhailiuk, McGowan, PJ Washington, and Nick Richards, if I had to guess the starting lineup right now. Those other guys are priced up. Dennis Smith and Svi Mykhailiuk are priced up over here. I like getting the Bryce McGowan, provided he's in the starting lineup. We're going to have to wait on that injury news between Oubre and Hayward, but I think they both sit. Hornets pretty much done for the year, man. Might as well let these young guys get some run. So I'm going to go to Bryce McGowan here at $3,700. At the power forward spot, I want to look at Jason Tatum, man. 10-4. It's just a case of I like him, but I'm not in love with him. You know, Jason Tatum can mail it in, just give you 50 here and there. But it's just this slate. It's just a factor of this slate, man. We have so much value and not a lot of pay-up options today. You know, yesterday you had all that value. You had Luka, Jokic. You know what I'm saying? So many ways you could go. We don't got all those pay-up options today and those secure pay-up options. So your highest pay-up option is Tatum on DraftKings at 10-4. So I get to him, man. He can go out here and drop 60 easily in this matchup against the Washington Wizards. They probably destroy him, but hopefully the Wizards can find a way to stay in here and push Tatum to give us a big number in this spot. But I like him at 10-4. Like I said, not in love with him, but it's just a consequence of the slate, man. With so much value and no real guys to pay up for, I like Tatum right now as one of my favorite pay-up options. All right. And at the Sun, just give me Nick Richards. Mark Williams is out. He should step right back into the starting lineup. You know this Thunder team don't really have a center down there to worry about. Give me all the Nick Richards at $4,700. Prices dropped down a little bit due to the fact that Mark Williams has come back and stepped back into his role with this Charlotte Hornets team. But I like Nick Richards right here. Should be nobody over there for him to foul for real. So he should approach 30 minutes in this spot. And you know he's in line for a big double-double. So give me Nick Richards here at $4,700. There you have it, man. Your starting five for DraftKings: Tyus Jones, Donovan Mitchell, Bryce McGowan, Jason Tatum, and Nick Richards. Let's go look at FanDuel and see what I'm feeling over there. And hit that like button if you hadn't done it yet, man. What you waiting on? All right. FanDuel, same thing, man. They got Dennis Smith priced up to $6,500. Now, he's more in play for him. He's in play. Let's get this correct. He's in play on both sites. But If I'm choosing, I'm going to get more Tyus Jones than I am Dennis Smith just for that price difference. Same thing over here on FanDuel. Dennis Smith Jr. like $1,000 more. He's 6,500, so 900 to be exact. I just like Tyus Jones getting the start with no job. Love this matchup. Love the price tag on him. Saying perfect pivot from Dennis Smith Jr. But he's in play. Feel free to get to him. But that price tag is just shot up so that I'm more comfortable with Tyus Jones here at 5,600. At the shooting guard, give me Steve McCaleb. Now him and McGowan's price are a little closer together here. He's only like $500, $400 more expensive over here versus almost $1,000 on DK. So I'll take a shot at Steve McCaleb here, 4,200. Saw him get 30 minutes last time out. Didn't do much, man. But he's a shooter, man. Hopefully his shot can fall here against OKC. He can get some open looks and knock him down here. As you know, OKC defense is not really that strong to begin with. So give me Steve McCaleb at 4,200 over here on FanDuel. But Bryce McGowan is very much in play. All those Charlotte Hornet guys are in play. I'm letting you know right now. If Uber and Hayward out, you can pick any Charlotte guy you want that you think is going to get minutes. All of them in play, man. All right. At the small forward, staying with Jason Tatum, 11K over here. Like I said, he's just my favorite pay-up option, especially on FanDuel where they're a little closer together. You got Curry at 10-4, Trae Young down here at 10. I just pay up to get to Tatum. Now, on DraftKings, it's a little different. The price gap is a little bigger, so you can go to the more Steph, more Trae, things of that nature. But Jason Tatum is by far my favorite pay-up option on FanDuel. All right, 11K, get him in your lineups. You know what he's capable of. It's the Wizards. At the power forward, got my eye on Evan Mobley, 8,600. Now, this is pending that Jared Allen news. If Jared Allen is out, I expect Evan Mobley to move to the center spot. And centers have been crushing against Atlanta. And Evan Mobley has been playing very solid so far this year. I like him at 8,600. And like I said, was in one of the more competitive games on the night. One of the highest totals. I like getting Evan Mobley right here. He's in play if Jared Allen plays, but I won't be as high on him. If Jared Allen is out, you can load me up on Evan Mobley at 8,600. All right? Always a double threat, and he's in line for some blocks as well. And at the center, staying with Nick Richards, 5,300. Just taking the value here so I can load up everywhere else, man. Should be starting. Should see 30 minutes. Should walk in the gym with a double-double if he get 30 minutes, man. I like Nick Richards at this price tag, 5,300. There you have it. Your starting five for FanDuel. Nick Richards, Evan Mobley, Jason Tatum, Steve McCaleb, and Tyus Jones, man. Get you some exposure to these guys. Get them in your player pools, man. Feel free to shoot your questions in the comment section over on Twitter, man. You can hit me up. I respond when I see it. Don't be, deterred if it's a little later, man. I have a lot going on, but when I see it and I can respond to it, I will respond to all messages, all right? That's going to do it for here, man. That's going to do it for us here today. Y'all know the motto, chances make champions. Y'all green up. I'll catch y'all tomorrow, all right? Let's get it.